Hey, everybody, here's part 2 of our interview with Mike Blackham. If you didn't listen to part 1, please go back and listen to that. You'll love it. It's a great interview. We talk golf, we talk politics. Mike's a very special guest. He's played the top 100 golf courses in the United States and the top 100 golf courses in the entire world. And this is a feat that Rob Ellsworth is about to accomplish as well. So it's a very special interview. We really enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Moving along, I want to talk about your guys' trip to England.
Yeah.
This was an intense trip, I think. You played a lot of golf in a short amount of time, right?
Yeah.
You guys there 6 days, 7 days? How long?
I think 8. 8 days.
8 days. How many golf courses did you play in 8 days?
I think I played 8. I think you played...
I played 5. I played Sunningdale New and Old, played St. George's Hill, Royal St. George's, and Royal Cinque Ports.
So Mike's a member at Sunningdale and Royal St. George's, and he had a club tournament.
Oh, nice.
So on a couple of the days where he was back at Sunningdale, I had already played it. So I took the rental car and...
No, let me tell this story. So the trip was planned to kind of just bed in at Sunningdale and play Sunningdale a bunch. I think Sunningdale's a 36-hole golf club that's just outside of London in an area called Surrey, and it's fairy tale golf, Heathland golf. It's my favorite place on earth, and I am so lucky to call it a second home. And I'd almost give up a child before I'd give up that membership. Joking, just
Well,
joking.
you got 4 of them. You didn't give up one.
So we were going to stay there. We go to dinner one night in London at a really cool Indian restaurant. And that's when I learned the next morning, Rob is going to get up and drive to Enodoc. Now, Enodoc is an amazing and charming English links.
How far of a
in
drive we're
Cornwall.
looking at here?
It's a 4.5-hour drive there and 4.5-hour drive back. And he did it. And part of the roads there are like driving on golf carts.
Did you drive yourself, Rob?
He
Yeah.
drove himself.
Whoa.
Just to that one.
And then I also learned that same meal that the next day he was going to drive north to Nottingham, play Hollandwell, formerly called the nickname of Knots, and then after Knots, go to Woodall Spa, which would have been another 6-hour there and back drive. So he traversed a remarkable amount of English countryside to play some great golf courses.
I spent 27 hours in the rental car and didn't need to.
Were you by yourself, or was there somebody?
No. Yeah, so it was just me and my thoughts. Now, we played...
Did you think much about our podcast and how we can improve it and do better?
Yeah, I put lots of thoughts together. But, we played Sunningdale Old and New together. We played Royal St. George's twice. We played St. George's Hill. We played Deal, which is Royal Cinque Ports. So we played probably 6 rounds together, maybe.
Yeah, we had a lot of great, amazing experiences.
But on the days where he had tournaments or a replay, I went and crossed stuff off because England has, I think, 11 top 100s. And I knocked out 8 of them.
That's great.
So you asked, what's the best golf course? My favorite golf courses. I believe the best golf for a country in the world is England. And it is completely overlooked due to
Everybody talks about going to Ireland and Scotland.
Ireland. So
Because they market to...
the number one is going to St. Andrews. That's the number one place that Americans love to go. Then it's, believe it or not, southwest London, like southwest Ireland.
Ballybunion, Lahinch.
And then it's going over to East Lothian or going over and playing the courses out in Western Scotland, Troon and
Turnberry,
or going up north to the Highlands. And then after you've done all those areas, then Americans start thinking of going to England. And I'm grateful for that because it means less American golf in those spots. And I think it's the best. I think the diversity of golf in England is the most expansive anywhere in the world. With Heathland golf, with links golf, they have some cool parkland golf courses. It's just so unique and diverse. there are 100 different golf courses in England that you could go and play, and you would just be mesmerized by. And the Americans just fly over. Sometimes they land in London and then they go up
And Rob,
north,
you're
but they
saying,
just
right,
skip over.
it's easier from Washington, D.C. to go play
Yeah.
in England than it is to go to Bandon Dunes.
Yeah, I mean, because the London Heathland courses, and they play like links. Like, it's tough to describe London Heathland. It's kind of like porn, you know it when you see it. Like, I know a Heathland course when I see it based off like the plant life, the shrubbery, but it's all built on sand, firm and fast, awesome greens, just tons of character. And it's like playing links golf, but the greens and the fairways have more character because you're not contending with the wind. So a lot of times on links courses out on the coast, they tend to have pretty flat greens, be a little flat,
Yeah.
not Royal St. George's, but it's because the wind is the defense. In the Heathland courses, you get a lot of the really cool natural topography with the firm and fast conditions. So, you know, from Washington, D.C., you know, I can take off in the evening. I wake up fresh as a daisy in the morning. You land at Heathrow. Well, Heathrow is closer to all the Heathland courses like Sunningdale, Walton Heath, Swinley Forest, St. George's Hill than it is to downtown London.
Okay.
So to drive from Heathrow to downtown London, which I've done a bunch, you know, it could be an hour and a half, 2 hours with traffic. You can get from Heathrow to Sunningdale in 20 minutes.
Incredible.
And just in that area, you can play a dozen world-class Heathland courses that are all within, you know, 10 miles of each other. And then when you play, like, if I play with Mike, I haven't seen a bill yet, but, you know, you're talking less than 100 pounds.
Oh, no, yeah, much less.
So, like,
Those the guest fee is
The guest fee is nominal.
and then, so you're playing Sunningdale, which is the best 36-hole golf facility on planet Earth. You know, as many people could play the old as the new and think one's as good as the other. The old is top 20 in the world. The new is top 60 in the world. And one's as good as the next. And you could play 36 there for less than you'd play Pinehurst. And you go through the list, and even if I wasn't playing with a member, they're not charging you through the nose. And it's just dynamite. And, you know, our hotel, you know, the Moxie, I mean, they're reasonable.
Yeah. All hotels in England are very reasonable.
It's like staying in a nice hotel.
100 pounds a
honestly,
night.
like
You're $150 a night.
I would have never given this thought. Like, England needs to be on the top of my list without you guys going on this trip.
Well, the closest thing that you're going to experience to Pine Valley in the world is Heathland Golf Course.
Okay.
A Heathland Golf Course.
It's what inspired.
Sunningdale Old, Sunningdale New have the closest feel to Pine Valley I've ever seen. And it's because, so when Crump wanted to make his dream of Pine Valley, he used a lot of architects to help him do that. But one of the people he consulted the most with was Colt, who was the secretary at Sunningdale for, I think, 40 years. He designed Swinley. He designed many, many golf courses in the Heathland area. And he brought that Heathland idea to Pine Valley. And so if you haven't been to Pine Valley and you really want to, the next best thing is going to London and playing Heathland golf.
I'll tell you what, like the one, you know, adjustment for Americans traveling there is like same thing in Scotland is, you know, if you're playing 36 and you got to play 36, you know, we finished at St. George's Hill at 8:30 at night, 9 o'clock at night. The kitchen's closed at all the restaurants there, you know, so we had like a 2-hour drive in front of us to get to the coast. Well, then you drive out to the coast and you're playing some of the best ocean links in the world. So we're driving out there and we're hungry. Like we're hungry. And so we're like waiting for like a McDonald's to appear. And it just so happens we're finally like, we're going to go all the way to the hotel. We're just going to skip dinner. And our exit has a McDonald's. And so we get off the exit, we go into the McDonald's just as they're closing.
Oh, wow.
So they close. And we ended up just buying food at the gas station. But when you're doing these trips, it's not all 5-star.
And we
First
did the
class.
same thing in Ireland.
Best ham and cheese sandwich I've ever had in my life, and it was at a gas station
Yeah,
in
we got-
Canterbury.
We had gas station dinners
Yeah.
because the places closed.
We experienced that in Ireland. A lot of places closed. Letterkenny, we were eating at McDonald's at 9:30 at night.
Well, I would say some of the big surprises for me on the trip, like I knew Sunningdale was going to be awesome, and it was, and it exceeded every expectation I had. And I know on future trips, like you've played all the England courses, so for me, like I was still wanting to check off some of the boxes. Like he was like, I know after this trip, you're just going to want to stay at Sunningdale and Royal St. George's, and he's right. I thought St. George's Hill was spectacular. I think that's a must. I thought St. Enodoc, other than getting there and back, and like we had these roads, I'm not kidding you, where from this strip of metal to the swimming pool, they can't see on the screen, cars going both ways with straight up and down hedges.
Oh, wow.
And there's sometimes you're just throwing it into the fucking hedge. You're just throwing the car into the hedge to not get hit. But then tell them a little bit about how just the transition from the Heathland golf, and then you go out on the links, and you're playing the best golf course in Scotland.
He went to Enodoc, which is all the English people, friends that we played with, their mind was just blown that he would do that in a day. But Americans, a 4-hour car ride isn't as big of a deal as it is to the English. But, if you go to Enodoc, then you have Perranporth that's out there. You have Trevose, you have Royal St. David's. If you go up north a little bit, you have Porthcawl, you have Pennard. As you drive out there, there's Burnham and Burrow, and he's got to do this trip again so you can go see all of those. And most Americans have never even heard of these golf courses.
Yeah, I haven't.
And they're fantastic.
Every single one of them.
They are
You
fantastic.
can't believe it's not on a list.
And they're called, that's where the term B-side came from, because everyone, if they go to London, they're going to drive and play Royal St. George's, Royal St. Ports, and they're going to play the A-sides of Sunningdale and Walton Heath and St. George's Hill and Swinley. But then they've totally missed out on all these other courses like Woking, the Berkshire. I went and played West Sussex, which is kind of by Rye, straight down south from London, about an hour and a half in the countryside, and it would categorically be U.S. top 100 if it was in the U.S. And most Americans have never even heard about it.
My dream, and luckily in our one benefit I have in my field is Congress takes an August recess. So my entire month of August is up for grabs, and it's fun to plan for golf.
Go back to England.
That's what I want to just rent a little car, and just play golf around England for a whole month.
And here's the other cheat code that Americans don't realize. So London is southeast England, okay? And then you have the coast of Kent, which has Rye, Royal St. Ports, Royal St. George's, which is, British Princes, I didn't even mention Princes, all of which have hosted the British Open before. And the remarkable Seaside Links golf courses. The Irish Sea, when it sends its weather down, it misses, for the most part, southeast England. And so the weather from May, the English are always kind of a little negative. So if you ask an English person, they'll always say, oh, it's always bad weather here. From May till maybe early October, you have fantastic weather.
It was 70 and sunny.
70 and sunny with maybe 12 miles per hour wind the entire trip.
That's great.
So you're missing out if you're not going to. I am divulging a secret here. I hope you don't take advantage, because we're the benefactors.
That's like Rob says, I want to grow the game, except for when I'm on the golf course.
Yeah, let's let them tee off after 11.
So we got a little bit of time left, and usually we do this thing called the Shotgun 9, where we ask very quick questions and you get quick answers from you. But we're going to do something different today. We're going to play 9 holes of comparing golf courses. And so I'll throw out 2 golf courses, and you're going to say, out of 10 rounds, you're going to play this many at that course,
Okay.
and this many at the other course. Now, set some ground rules here. You've played all top 100 in the U.S., right?
Yes.
Okay, so
For a certain list, yeah.
certain lists. All right, so I'm going to go first, and then Rob, and then we're going to end with a question we've asked every guest pretty much on the show about your dream foursome. Will be the 9th question. So I'm from West Virginia, so I'm actually going to bring up 3 courses that have all been on the top 100 list at different times. Hopefully, you've played all 3, but Pikewood, Pete Dye, and Old White. How you splitting those up?
So I haven't played Old White yet.
Okay.
So that
Let's just go Pikewood, Pete Dye then.
I'd probably go 9-1 Pikewood.
9-1 Pikewood.
I didn't love Pete Dye. Maybe 8-2. Give it 8-2. I only went once. It wasn't in great shape. I don't I found it to be a little too quirky for me.
Okay.
The movement on the land was a little aggressive, but Pikewood is as
17
well.
green is crazy.
Yeah. But Pikewood is a really cool place. Maybe some of the best vistas in the world. It's perfect condition. There's a lot of really fun golf holes there, and it's a tough golf hole, tough golf course. It's a tough walk as well. Both are kind of a difficult walk, but I would probably go 8-2 Pikewood.
Okay.
You once told me on Variety that England is your favorite golf country because of the diversity and the sheer number of great courses. You also told me that Japan is your favorite golf culture and experience. So in Japan, 10-round split, Tokyo Golf Club, Hirono, Kawana.
Ooh. I think I go 4. I give 4 to Hirono. Hirono it actually has a Heathland feel. Allison worked with Colt, and Colt didn't want to go to Japan, so he sent Allison. And Allison did most of the, originally he designed all 3 of those, and then there were changes to Tokyo Golf Club that another architect did. I can't remember who, but they all have Allison influence. But Hirono has the greatest feel, I think, to a Heathland style golf, which is probably my favorite style of golf. And then I'd go 3-3. Tokyo Golf has one of the most amazing nuances in golf because it has 36 greens.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And they lots of different tee boxes, so every day you can be playing quite different golf course. I think that's really cool. It's not probably the best way to simplify the game, but it works at Tokyo Golf. And then Kawana is like an English golf course, like Enodoc, where you're going to go and see some stuff there that you've never experienced before. It's seaside. They call it the Pebble Beach of Japan. It's public, so anybody can go and play it. And the hotel's kind of cool. Feels like something out of an old horror movie. Not a scary hotel, just something out of like the medieval time or something.
Quick follow up before Matt goes. There are 3 interesting Japanese golf traditions. One that's unique to Japan.
Yeah.
One you mentioned, having multiple greens and tee boxes to make the course different each day. The second is oftentimes after 9, they will have a full lunch, a full sit-down lunch, breaking up the round and then go play the back. And the third is the post-round bath, where members of the group all take a hot bath together. If America had to adopt 2 of the 3 traditions and leave one behind, which one do you leave behind?
I think the lunch.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's now. I've told you that the Japanese golf trip might be my favorite golf trip I've ever done in my life, and so I like every facet of it. But it doesn't fit the American culture. They actually, the members that we played with were so kind to us. They always asked if we wanted to do it American style, where you played all 18, had lunch after, and then did the bat. We didn't choose to do that because we wanted the Korean experience. We wanted the Japanese experience. But I don't think that works well in the U.S. You cannot play 36 holes in Japan. It's not going to happen. We were walking off golf courses at 3:00 with perfect weather, and they're pulling the flags.
Oh, wow.
Because they don't allow for a 36-hole day. You have to follow their system. And there are really no tee times after 10:00.
Wow.
Well, and
It's crazy, huh?
I don't know about you guys, but I don't like having a big meal halfway through the round. No, I think it throws your game off. I'd rather earn it and then have a big lunch after you're done. Yeah.
All right, so
So you're pro bath. Pro bath.
Yeah, the bath is cool.
The bath is it's a confidence booster too, right?
Yeah, some Americans wouldn't like that. But when in Rome, when in Japan, you got to do it.
Yeah.
all right, so I started with where I'm from, now where I live, Oklahoma. Southern Hills, probably, in my opinion, one of the best major championship venues out there. 2032, by the PGA Championship back. And then the club that boasts more touring professionals than any other club in the country, Oak Tree National.
Oak Tree National. Ooh, that's a tough one. I would go 6'4" Southern Hills. Gilhan's did some phenomenal work there. I love the Perry Maxwell greens. The bunkering system there is phenomenal. I think it has the closest feel when it comes to the bunkering to Augusta National. The land is awesome. I love the 17th, that drivable par 4. And 18 and 9 are such iconic holes with the green sitting there below the clubhouse. But Oak Tree National is maybe one of my favorite Pete Dye golf courses I've ever played. I love how he used the lake. It's tough, but it's fun. I think the aesthetics there are really cool. I go 6'4" though. 6'4".
Okay. Sunningdale, Augusta.
Oh yeah, that's not a great question. That's a tough question. You know, this is going to be a hot take. I probably go 6'4" Sunningdale. And I know that sounds absurd. And Augusta is as we talked about earlier, a very special experience. But Sunningdale's like home for me.
How would you split up the 6 at Sunningdale?
I go 3-3 new old. You know, a lot of people ask what's better, old or new, and I always say whichever one I played last. But if I had to have one last round at Sunningdale, I would go and choose the old. I just give the old just maybe by a frog's hair a little lead on which is better. Sunningdale is the most idyllic place I've ever seen for golf. And it is very it holds a great place in my heart. And I think if I had to have one last round in life or one last day in golf, it'd be at Sunningdale. It's magical, pure magic. The members, the food, the
gunners,
our staff, the golf course. My last surname is Blackham, and so I hail from England. It's just got a special place in my heart.
All right, so we're recording this as the Memorial Golf Tournament just teed off. So sticking in Columbus, greater Columbus, Ohio area, Muirfield Village, and Scioto.
I haven't played Scioto since they redid it, so I need to go back. This might be a hot take as well. I probably go Muirfield 6'4". I like Muirfield. I think it's a lot of fun. I don't like the 18th hole. I don't think Jack likes the 18th hole either because he keeps trying to mess around with it. He hasn't figured it out yet. I hope he does someday, but I think it has, 15 excellent golf holes. I love the 8th hole there. I think that's the par 3, right? I think that's a really fun, good-looking par 3. I love 9. So I go 6'4".
What I'll say about Muirfield, I think it is the best golf course I've ever been to watch a golf tournament. I mean, it clearly was designed for spectators, and it is a fantastic experience. When I lived in Columbus area, I'd go every year to the Memorial, and then the President's Cup was there 2012, 13? Was that somewhere in that range?
Shinnecock and National.
I go 7-3 National. That's probably another hot take. And Shinnecock's awesome. I just have so much fun at National. Playing the morning 18, taking a shower, getting in a jacket and tie, having that lobster come out, and then you have to order your meal, and then the pie comes out, and you feel like you need a nap, and then you go back out and play another 18 is about as good as it gets. It has like Sunningdale, just a special place in my heart. Where at Shinnecock, I really appreciate that you have to golf your ball. It's a great test. It's as pure as it gets to championship golf, but I'm not into championship golf. I'm into quirky, fun golf. So I go national, 7-3.
Oral County Down and Ballybunion.
I probably still go 7-3. Had a great day at Ballybunion, and I know Rob will maybe disagree with me because he feels that Royal County Down doesn't have a great finish. 17 and 18 aren't the best holes at Royal County Down, but Royal County Down is one of the most spectacular golf courses in the world, with it being seaside, the massive dunes, the Black Mountains behind. You've seen the town. It has the ninth hole is just about as fun as you can have on a golf course. But 7-3, I enjoyed Ballybunion, but I didn't get it as much as others. My La Hinch friends are gonna love that take, and my Ballybunion friends are gonna really hate me for this take. They're gonna really. I knew he was gonna say that. Yeah.
Terrible take. So you get 10 rounds in LA.
Hmm.
LACC, Bel Air, Riv.
I probably go 4-3-3. LACC, Bel Air, Riviera. Bel Air is one of the best memberships in golf. I have a lot of good friends there. Every time I go there, I'm playing with some of the best people on earth. Just laughing and being entertained. I usually don't get mesmerized by celebrities, but it seems like every time I'm opening the door or going into the room, I'm seeing someone that I hold with great awe. I remember the first time I went there, I opened the door to the men's locker room to go in, and coming through the door is the logo, Jerry West, West Virginia, right?
Yeah.
And I stood there in awe, and he looked at me. He said, "Are you going to come through?" And I was just taken because there he was, the logo. So it's a cool experience to be at Bel Air. But LACC, that for me is what Gil Hance did there. That's a 10 of a golf course. It's a Doak scale 10. And so not only is it fun, but it can hold a major championship there.
That's great.
And the membership's pretty good too.
All right, so when we sat down here, we knew we had 2 hours, and there was like, no way we're going to use all 2 hours. And we are coming in right at our second hour. So this will be split up into 2 episodes. But the last question before you go to your meeting, you have a dream foursome. But in this foursome, you have to have a professional golfer, a celebrity, and a politician. Living or dead, who's your foursome?
So I'll go first. I'm going to be pretty boring. My politician is going to be Mitt Romney. I'm a Utah.
Does he play golf?
I'm actually not a Utah, but
I don't know.
I don't know if he does play golf. But I would love to sit down and ask Mitt, or play golf with Mitt and ask him a lot of questions. I wish that we had an opportunity to have Mitt Romney lead this country. I think everything he did, whether it was governor of Massachusetts or leading the Olympics here in Utah, he showed great leadership, and that's what our country, I believe, needs. And I think he was a great leader. I think he's become a little bit of an scapegoat to the change in Republican politics with Donald Trump, but that's okay. He'd be one of them. A celebrity. I think I would go with Steph Curry. He's a member of the club that I'm a member of. He did something really cool. We went to a Jazz game a couple years ago, and my sons wore the logo of that club, and he interrupted his shooting session to come over and take a picture with my boys or an autograph. I know that he's a gentleman and he's a legend. So it'd be him.
Pretty good golfer too.
Yeah, really good golfer. Scratch handicap. Or it'd be Jordan if I had a backup. And then you got to go with Tiger Woods, right? I know that's boring, but
No, that's not boring.
you got to go with Tiger. He's the one who made me understand Augusta National, the Masters in '97 when he won it in that route. So he got me into the game a little bit and understanding it. And so a lot of my purpose of getting into the game was because of Tiger.
Were you
and so
sophomore in
when
high school in 97?
was.
Yeah, so was I. I think we met in 99.
I was living in Germany and I was
Really?
watching that Masters in a Munich hotel on a late ski trip.
It was like practically snowing in the valley where we grew up. But I mean, I was glued to the TV. Hit that still shafted Cobra driver.
Still use
Oh
the
my
putter,
God.
the Tyroleum.
Well, hey, thank you for spending this time with us. Thank you to everybody that listens. Please follow us on social media and please subscribe wherever you get your podcast, whether it's on YouTube or audio. Subscribe. It helps us a lot. And again, thank you for your time. Hey.